OrganiGram saw a huge lift in today's session. I'll explain some key levels to look out for, but before we get into that, there is the closing bell, guys, with the S&Ps finishing up about 40 points. It was the Nasdaq today that led our indexes higher, followed by the Russell and the small caps up a little over 2%. The Dow Jones was our worst performing index on the day. I'll dive into everything, but let's start with the SPX. And taking a look at the SPX, we came into this week expecting 100 points. Now that number was derived from the option chain on last Friday's session. However, we came into this week, we got negative on the Monday close. We are positive Tuesday, positive Wednesday, and we're breaking the upper edge in Thursday's session. That upper edge is 39.42, and we're just 3 points shy from that level. Statistically speaking, sitting at this upper edge tells us there's not much more upside remaining this week. However, when we go over and take a look at the Nasdaq on a daily, it was the best of the bunch, finishing up over 2.3%. We're seeing the Nasdaq lead the way higher. However, the volume's a little bit lackluster. Taking a look at it on the expected move here, the Nasdaq is sitting near the upper edge on the week. Now that number is 13,021, which tells us there's not much more upside in the Nasdaq. However, on a year to date, this Nasdaq is up 3%, so it's not up as much as you'd expect it to be. And over on the other hand, the Russell 2000 is up close to 20% on the year. Taking a look at this Russell, it's putting a new all-time high in. Volumes, However, it's up over 2% in today's session. Heck, even the Dow is putting in fresh all-time highs, sitting at 32,490. So we see that the equities are doing fairly well today. How do the sectors look across the board? And taking a look at what led the way today, software stocks were our best performing sector, up over 3.4%. Right behind it, we have the Big Five up at 2.3%, as well as technology stocks up over 2.17%. For the most part, outside of that, we see the XLE that's nearly flat on the day. It put a new all-time high, however, turned, as well as the financials that are red on the day, down 0.3%, light volume here. However, when we take a look at all of our sectors, you can clearly see the growth stocks are seeing a nice rebound. However, the value names from energy, financials, even industrials are relatively flat in today's session. Seeing these financials down today, they could potentially open up the market in tomorrow's tape. I wouldn't be surprised to see this market sell off in the morning, followed by a rally higher into the weekend, or just sell off into the weekend and a gap up on Monday's session. So we see what's going on in equities. What's going on in the bond market? And taking a look at these bonds, they're down 3 basis points. So the bonds are flat on the day, and they're just trying to find a home here around the 158 range. Now, when we throw it on a volume profile and we'll put it on a weekly, this 154 range you can see could be a potential home for the bonds. We're relatively close there, and you can see a lot of price action in this range going back a decent amount of time. As for the 10-year yield, taking a look at this yield, it's up 46 basis points on the day, sitting at a 1.52. It too could be sitting in this 1.5 to 1.7 range. As you can see, there is some price history in this area. So bonds could potentially be cooling off, which could signal growth stocks are ready to rally. But as for volatility, taking a look at these VIX futures, the VIX futures today were down over 2%. Taking a look at the VVIX, it was down 1.9%. Looking at it intraday, got a bit of a bounce into the close. However, the bigger picture here, I would like to see the VVIX get back below this 110 line. And if this rally is for real, I would like to see the VVIX trend to 100 to confirm that. Stocks up, bonds flat. How did the dollar and commodities fare today? Taking a look at the dollar index, down about 50 basis points, putting its third down day in a row here in the dollar. As for our commodities, we take a look at crude oil. Crude oil today was up 2.5%, seeing a nice boost in today's session. Looking at it intraday, it had a fairly strong close to end out the day. However, our XLE sector was flat. As for gold, gold up 7 basis points, going nowhere. With the dollar pulling back, gold just can't get a bid to save its life. Bitcoin is just stealing the spotlight. And taking a look at Bitcoin today, it's up over 3%, and it's putting fresh all-time highs in as we speak. Bitcoin is a very fun asset to watch. However, running too fast too soon isn't the best thing for this. I'd like to see some consolidation and then grind higher, which we got that. We consolidated and we're grinding higher. We're potentially breaking out. It's going to be interesting to see how Bitcoin trades going into the weekend in tomorrow's tape. However, sitting at 58,000, we could be knocking at the door to 60K before you know it. There you have it for the stock market breakdown. With the bill being signed today, we could be seeing money in our pockets as soon as this weekend. So $1,400 is a boost for retail traders. However, across all major indices, we're sitting near the upper edge on the week. Statistically, that tells us there's not much more upside, at least in this week's session. With the Nasdaq up just 3% on the year, these growth name stocks, if they get going, could be enough to take this market to the next leg higher. But enough of the macro, let's take a look at a trending ticker today, and that was OrganiGram. And today, OrganiGram was up almost 40% with a market cap of $937 million. This is a relatively small company. On a year to date, this stock is up 176%. So what does this company do? Well, they engage in the production and sale of medical marijuana. Now today we're seeing some huge volume come into this stock, and it was early in the pre-market. What happened today? Well, a British American tobacco company bought close to 20% stake to cooperate on CBD products. Now this stock was on fire in pre-market, however it cooled off in the cash hours. Now when we throw it on the expected move this week, the options market priced in about 41 cents. We can see that upper edge was around $3.09, and we're sitting almost $1 above that level. So let's put some drawings up and take it a little bit closer. So we put it on an intraday. Seeing a 4 standard deviation move sits at around $4.32. Looking at the 3 standard deviation move, that's $3.91, and the 38% Fibonacci is at $3.93. So that's a fairly strong level. You can see we bid higher, however, we're coming back down in the after hours. Keep your eyes on this 390 level, as is a very strong pivot point. If we do see selling in tomorrow's tape, this 350 to 334 could be a solid bouncing point. However, if we can peel higher, which we closed at 404, 432, which was the 4 standard deviation on the week, could be breached, and if we do, we could be onwards and upwards to that 61% fib at $4.90. Just taking a look at it on a bigger picture, some big volume, momentum could get this thing going, and if we do ultimately get going in the coming trading sessions, $4.90, this stock could erupt higher. There you have it for the top trending stock, OrganiGram. Did you get a chance to watch this one? If not, what's a ticker you'd like me to talk about? Comment it down below. I'd love to hear it. And if you have any questions or comments, feedback, leave that down below as well. If you watch this far, I really appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up. It means a lot when you guys show some support. And if you're watching me for the first time, I do these market breakdowns daily. Show some love and hit that subscribe button. But on that note, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Have a great night. Take care. Peace!